Hi, all my philosophy friends. It's Carolyn, and I'm all by myself. It's the end of the day. The sun has gone down. I should probably be home, but I just wanted to hop on and make a really quick video because we're heading into Bristol, our Bristol event, and shoppers will start arriving tomorrow. And I feel a little bit like the night before Christmas. We have cleaned and organized and shopped and put all the things together, and so it does feel a little bit like Christmas Eve, like ooh, tomorrow's the big day, people will start arriving. And I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of you so much. For those of you who are coming to the event, thank you for coming. Thank you for trusting us to carry on Jean's legacy, to carry on her love of red and her love of samplers. That really means a lot to all of us here at the Attic. And for those of you who are watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of us. I don't know, I was just a little emotional about it's our first big party since she's gone. Anyway, I wanted to share with you Bristols. If you guys don't know anything about Bristols, or maybe you know all the things about Bristols, I am sitting in front of our red table. When you walk into the attic, you walk in to a table. One of the first tables is all covered in red. It's covered in Bristol samplers and red samplers. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because we have some surprises. I don't know how many of you know Haystack Stitching, Caroline Selden. She's coming all the way from the UK, and she is going to bring with her her antique. This is a sampler. This is an important sampler because it's called Anonymous. There's no markings as to who made this, and she showed it to Jean in March of 2024. And she said, should I reproduce it? And Jean said, yes, absolutely. And so she reproduced it at Jean's encouragement. And she was so good at encouraging people to just do more, design, get out there, meet people, just do everything that you need to do. So we will have this sampler here with Caroline, that she will be here on Thursday. And in addition to Anonymous, so we have these charts also. In addition to Anonymous, she created an etui, and it's called Jean, a Bristol etui. And she took motifs from the sampler, and she made a needle book and a minder, what do they call that little thingy right there? Scissor fob. Sorry, it is so incredibly late. And a little pin pillow, and the needle book. And so we have these here, and these are we're so excited that Caroline is coming and will be able to share with us a little bit about her story of Anonymous and the etui and her journey with Bristol samplers. So she's part of, we've added her as a special guest to our faculty. And then I wanted to share some of our favorite Bristols. There are many, and I have some favorites personally. This one, 15 Friends. She's behind me. She's right over my shoulder. Do you see her? I love this one so much, mainly because I kind of like that it's a little messy down here. Sometimes they're very orderly. My brain is not orderly, so I love that this is just kind of this compilation of things. But there are, if you look in here, there are 15 bed numbers of the 15 of this little girl, Jane Ann, her 15 friends. And there's her bed number, and then there's scattered around in the bottom is the bed numbers of her little friends from the orphanage. So I love this. This is, and that model is stitched on the legacy linen that is uneven. I think it's 5363 linen, and so it's very beautiful. It's stitched with Swasserfein and on that tiny linen. Another one of my favorites. This is Harriet's Salt. This is by Hands Across the Sea. And Harriet is, see how hers are a little more orderly, but she has all these beautiful motifs. So they learned their alphabet up here, and then they learned distinguishing motifs. And I am not a historian. I am not a Bristol historian, but I think they're all so beautiful. But do you see how Jane Ann's is a little messy? See how Harriet, it's a little neater. So, and then in addition to Harriet, there's Mary Hillier. Now, I want to share with you, because sometimes you think, oh, that's a Bristol. That's gigantic. How? Like, I'm never going to finish that. So, here. Mary is 286 by 328. So that means on 40 count, she's about 14 and a half by 16 and a half. Now Harriet is, hang on. Harriet is 413 by 414 stitches. So on 40 count, she's much bigger. On 36 count, she's 23 by 23. So this would be, in fact, oh, I have to tell you, we have a wonderful customer, and Deanne. And so Deanne stitched Harriet Salt. And you all want to know, like, how much floss does it take to stitch to stitch a Bristol? She stitched Harriet on 36 count linen using a hank of Soie d'Alger. She used one hank and one skein. The hank took her, on 36 count linen, the hank took her all the way to here. She had just this little corner left. So that's how much floss you need. If you need to know how much floss you need to stitch a large Bristol, you need a hank and a skein. So that's always good information to have that. So you can choose whether you want a medium or large, or there's even a smaller one. Let me show you. There is, hang on. I kicked the camera, I kicked the tripod. We're all a little cozy up here. Okay, here. This one. This is Bristol Red. This is by Dutch Treat Designs. And it's only 140 by 188. So if you would love to have the opportunity to stitch a Bristol, but you don't want a lifetime commitment, here you go, Bristol Red. And you don't even have to stitch them all in red. I don't know where that went. Oh, right there. Okay. You can stitch them in blue. This one's called Bristol Grace. You could probably put it in any color you want. See, here it is on the back stitched in red. And then there's also this one called Bristol Green. So from what I understand is that the first ones that they stitched were red, and then they could branch out if they wanted to do more than one. But don't take my word. I'm not a historian. Anyway, so many options. And we also have, this is beautiful, Martha Warby's Bristol sampler. This is by Violets and Verses. And this one is 294 by 402. So she's a little more rectangular. Like, she's not as, you know, some of them seem to be like really square. Like if you look at Jane Ann, right there, she seems really square. And so she is, one more. Hang on, just one more. And then, this is Amelia Fox by Cross Stitch Antiques. Isn't she beautiful? Look at all those bands. I love, there's so many bands. my friend Lisa, who's coming to Bristol, so I'll be sure and get her to put it, and she's stitching on, I believe she's stitching on Amelia. She's doing her on a Glory on the Silk Cotswold Peony, which is a beautiful dusty pink. So you don't have to stitch her in red. We'll be sure and get a picture of that posted. And hang on, but wait, there's more. If you don't want to stitch the Bristols, look what we have. These are Bristol berries. And I even have the models. So let me show you the models. This is Bristol berry number 1. There's this cute little squirrel. Strawberry. These are done by Erica Michaels Designs, Linda Stoltz of Erica Michaels Designs. Aren't they cute? And then the second one in that, there's 3 charts in each chart. Here is the second strawberry. And then, look at that! He's so cute. Oh my goodness. Yep. So that is so fun. And then, so that's Bristol Berries 1. If you want to see Bristol Berries 2, Bristol Berries 2 is this strawberry. And this strawberry. And this strawberry. Look how adorable. So cute. And then Bristol Berries 3. This is Bristol Berries 3. We have this one. Now the Bible's very, very common in Bristols. I think they were on, I do have a Bristol chart that does not have a Bible on it. So it was 100%, but pretty darn close. Because part of his mission of George Muller was to teach them about God. And he used prayer and faith in building his orphanages. And this strawberry. And this strawberry. So, if you don't want to stitch a big thing, you have to frame. If you don't even want to do a little one, do some berries. There's always options. And I have to show you Jean's favorite berry. Bristol. It's right here. This is Emma Sanford. She is designed by Dutch Treat Designs, Claudia Dutcher, who is one of our presenters here for the Bristol weekend. And Jean stitched this one. Now, this is done on, I believe it's 5260, which is not a linen that is made anymore. Now, today, it would be considered 56 count. And to my eye, this looks like vintage sand dune by Lakeside. And she used cranberry Tudor silk. I believe she used cranberry Tudor silk. So if you look closely, you can see there's a little bit of movement in the thread. See? What a wonderful memorial we have of Jean. To have her stitched pieces here makes it really special. So that is M. Sanford. Let me see. Let me turn around and see what other Bristols we got. We got lots of red ones. I'll turn the camera around and highlight the table. I know y'all have seen it before, but it's really kind of fun. Oh, this one right here. Can you see right here? Here, I'll bring it to you. This is not a Bristol. This is Ursilia's sampler patterned after an antique that belongs to Jean. And Jean charted Ursilia's. And it's been around, and lots of people have it and lots of people want it. And I just want to let you know that we will be restocking it. It should be in the shop tomorrow, Thursday at the latest. Today is when it'll be in the shop Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. So we are restocking Ursilia's. She's so beautiful. And then, so we have some fun things planned this weekend. And we're happy that you're all going to be here. And if you're not here in body, we are so happy you'll probably be with us in spirit, okay? Now, we have one more thing I want to talk about. We got this chart. This chart came in. This chart came in from Hands Across the Sea. We got the chart. And I am dying over this band right here. Oh my goodness. Now, I have learned that I don't have a lot of patience for this kind of business right here. So this is the year that I teach myself to have patience and like buckle down and get some flowers done. Like, I'm super happy to stitch borders and letters and fast things that go kind of fast. I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to get it done. So we have, I love everything about that. I love this, and I love the cease to do evil, learn to do well. I love this sampler, and I love the colors. Have you seen the colors yet? Here's the color pack. Now, we do have them packaged up, minus the 179. I will have to say, of all the olive greens, that the 179 is the perfect olive green. So it is in a lot of samplers. It's in the Queen of the May, which I am working on. It is in, well, I know for sure the Queen of the May. I won't say anymore because I'll get it wrong, I know. And it's in this one. So there are actually two spools in the Queen of the May. If you're stitching on the Queen of the May and you're not going to use the whole spool, then pop it in Magdalena, your 179. And we have more on order. We have more 179s. They're coming. But for right now, and to get us through the weekend, and for those of you who want this kit right away, we have this wonderful thread pack all made up. And then we have a supplemental, it's all made up minus the 179. And we have a supplemental thread, which is the painter's threads in Turner. You can see how beautiful that green is. And the 179 in the 103 is a very similar color of green. So if you are okay with the thread pack as is and the supplemental painter's thread in Turner, we're here for you. And I'm sure we'll have 179 back in stock. But for right now, if you're in a hurry, don't got another thing to stitch, and you want to get started on that band down there, and because here's where this green is up here in these trees. So how cool would that be to put a tree, this business, and then the tree? I think that's what I'm going to do. But here's the turner. Here's what it looks like up close. Is it focusing? Oh, I cannot wait to get that in the linen. That is going to be super cool. Super cool. All right. So just for your information, that's what we have. And we're so thankful. Can I just say, I'm going to brag for a minute. So Mary's daughter, Elise, has tiny little spindly fingers, and she puts these thread packs together in no time. So we currently have thread packs for Magdalena. We have thread packs for Elizabeth Stevenson. We have thread packs for the Queen of the May, and then we have thread packs for, I apologize. Does your brain ever do that? Like, Jessie! Jessie! We have thread packs for Jessie, our sweet Jessie. I think I probably need some dinner. Anyway, and one moment. And we have the thread packs for 103 thread packs for Marianne Farmer by Scarlet House. And those charts will be here on Thursday. Oh, those are pretty. So soft. If you want to follow along with Rika King, House of Stitch and Stash, she is stitching Marianne Farmer with this beautiful conversion. So we're happy to offer that also. All right, kids. One last thing, and then I promise I'm done. I have a finish. I know. It's such a shock. I have a finish. It's a little tiny, but it's a finish nonetheless. I can't see. I finished Be Ye Brave. I stitched that in Classic Colorworks. I didn't curse very much. Here's the chart. It's by Antique Needleworkers, Shelley Fry. Great chart, Shelley. And I did it. Well, actually, I did it in Classic Colorworks until I got to the white. Here, look. I picked out a frame. I was going to make a pillow, but then look at that frame. What do you think? Should I frame it or should I make a pillow? So I'm stitching and I get to this part and I realize that I didn't pick a white or off-white. I had gold. See the stars are gold? A gold picked out, but I didn't pick out. So I dug into my stash and I had silk. So this is Vanilla by Gloriana and this is 103 Blanc. And that made me very happy. Well, once I knew that I had some silk in my piece, then I was like, okay, I like it now. It's wonderful. Such a snob, but it is what it is. Beeswax. Beeswax is the key to stitching with cotton and not cursing. Got to run it through beeswax. Because one strand, I didn't run it through the beeswax. I thought, oh, I'm fine. And I got a knot. You know, those little knots that you can pull and they're so tight, you just keep sewing with them? No. 2 stitches later, I get one of those loopy knots that you can't get rid of. There was cursing. There was cutting of thread. There was... Anyway, beeswax. That is the key to stitching with cotton and not saying cursey words. All right, friends, that's all I have for you tonight. I just wanted to tell you that we are very, very excited for everyone to come. We're excited to welcome stitchers and teachers and friends and fill the shop up with happy people who are willing to brave the 110-degree heat to come and play at the attic. So thank you. I'll see you around the corner. Bye-bye.